Most people don't like me because I'm trans and punk, and
That's not
nobody
why.
fucking wants to be around me. I need someone in my life who will just spend 10 minutes to give me a hug. Ever! Hey, sweet pea. So trans people are systemically denied a sense of community. Everywhere I go, people actively go out of their way to remind me that they view me as an outsider. They actively misgender me on purpose because they want to remind me that they don't view me as the thing I want them to view me as, and will never do that because they view me as an outsider. It is a systemic force that causes trans people to kill themselves at an unacceptable rate. And the fact that I'm angry about it is fine and acceptable. The only other choice is to be sad. And if I'm sad, I'm gonna give up, and you know what happens? That's why the trans rate is so high. So I will be angry until the world changes because I absolutely categorically refuse to give up on helping trans people find community, and I refuse to accept the genocide that is being perpetrated by the right-wing media sources that make trans people feel so alienated that they can never ever find a sense of community and end up themselves. I refuse to be calm about that. Do you think that revolutions happen when people are calm? Do you think they stormed the Bastille like, hey, may we please have some guns? Or do you think they raged in and they took that shit? Change requires anger. And the fact that you have shut down your anger entirely is the reason we are stagnant. Be angry.
Okay, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna do this one on wingnut trans people who are this person. How this person got on my feed, I have no idea, but they got on my feed, and I just became sort of like took a deep dive into this psychopath. So first off, everything this person is saying is actually the reason why trans people are disliked. The energy is so out of control. They are so angry at the world. That is not true. Trans people don't need to be angry. Okay. Again, I've been doing this a long time, people. That's not part of being trans, being angry. And wanting change means you have to sort of put yourself in a position to help people understand. This person is not helping people understand. This person is alienating people. And this person wants war. They don't want to have any type of coexistence with you in any way, shape, or form. Everything they said about genocide, about trans, unaliving themselves, about all of those tropes that they love. It's not true, because if that was true, you would see a lot more of that being spoken about in the mainstream media, which you do not. They are not unaliving themselves. It's really horrible that these people in this so-called trans community, and this person wants a sense of community. Well, what does that even mean? And when you lie about things so sensitive, you are actually doing a disservice to this so-called community. You're doing a disservice to me and many others, okay? Because it's not true. It is not high. It is not there. It's in fact quite rare, to be honest with you. Ideation is different than actually doing it, okay? And so a lot of different communities have ideation of that sort, not just the trans community. So I started you out with that wingnut because the energy is so insane. And today's episode is really about pushing back on these narratives that these so-called trans people keep putting out there. Like, let me show you this next one.
Being trans isn't a mental illness, but for the people who think it is and then treat us like garbage, hurl slurs at us, and threaten to hurt us, it's very telling on how you probably treat actually mentally ill people. Again, being trans is not a mental illness, but for the people who think it is, why do you then treat us like a target or an enemy? Like, if that's truly how you feel, if we're all just mentally ill and need help, need therapy, I don't want to know how you actually treat mentally ill people. But I don't think it is. I mean, you know it's not a mental illness. You just use that as a way to invalidate us, and a way to switch the conversation into being about control and not acceptance. Something that historically has always been done to communities that are disproportionately targeted. None of this is new. Trans people aren't new. Your bigotry isn't new. This has all been around forever. We have always changed and updated our language and societal norms to better fit the society we currently live in. You think the world's gonna stop changing for you? You learnt enough. You don't need to know anything else. You're lazy, and you'll be left in the past if you don't get a grip.
It just blows my mind. This person was like reading from a script of words that they all use, right? Everything, again, yes, I will tell you right now, this is a mental disorder. Okay. It is 100%. Now, I'm going to say that I push back a little bit on the word illness, but the people I'm showing you right now, they don't just seem like they have gender dysphoria. They have some form of mental illness going on. And this person right here is so part of the problem and telling us how we don't have a mental disorder, we don't have mental illness. Yes, we do. It is not normal to feel this way. It is not normal to be trans, and stop trying to, like, on some level, make it as if anyone can just be that. Remember what I told you before? I do not identify as trans. Okay. This is not an identity choice. This is a mental disorder where I have found to find it much easier for me to coexist and walk the world, understanding that I feel more happy looking masculine and like a man and being seen as a man. That's not normal. That is not normal. Okay. And so when people say stuff like this, that it's all your fault, you're the one who's pushing. No, it isn't. It's your fault for getting misinformation and then not being able to process it on your own. See, again, they all want you to change, but they don't want to participate in that. It's really frustrating for somebody like me. It's so barfy, you guys.
I wasn't born a girl. I was born a baby. A genderless gremlin. Also, people can be gender fluid and their gender can change sometimes.
Oh, come on.
I always put my pronouns in the video, so it shouldn't be too confusing. Sometimes I'm a girl, sometimes I'm a guy, sometimes I'm in between, sometimes I'm none, sometimes I'm all the genders. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that I'm having fun.
Oh, is that so?
Gender expression is fun. I can be whatever I want to be.
See what I mean? Gender expression is fun because you're choosing that. It is not something that you're struggling with, because if it was something that you were actually struggling with, it's not fun. This is not fun. And to be honest with you, I would give anything not to be this person. I would have way rather been born a man. Like, this is so ridiculous. These people, I wasn't born male, I was born a baby. Well, yeah, you were. How is that not mental illness? How is that just not? You people are so cuckoo, and you are making the problems out there. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Okay, now I had to get this one because somehow this one has been popping up on my feed a lot too. Just another cuckoo brain.
I've had a couple of messages asking if I wouldn't provide a bit of context to my experience as a trans person. So today I wanted to share with you.
Watch this, because now I want you to know this person is going to tell you how they're trans. Remember what I told you? I'm not trans. Okay. I am a female who feels like they want to be a male and lives in a male identity. These people live in a trans identity. So watch how this person figured out they were trans.
How I came to realize that I'm trans. Before the pandemic, I was frequently touring in Europe, regularly with other solo musicians, one of
the pandemic,
whom I had a running joke with, that one day we'd cover a bunch of 80s bangers by such artists as Bonnie Tyler and Cyndi Lauper. As I had a little time during the pandemic to musically reinvent myself, I thought I'd give a couple of these covers a go. As I further developed this idea into a full performance set, I came to realise that the persona that I craved to be on stage was actually the person
but how?
that I really wanted to be throughout.
How?
And that's when I started taking the first steps in my own personal transition. This at first came with vocal coaching, but must have been around the same time that I started wearing more feminine clothes. It wasn't until around half a year later, around September 2022, that I realised I was going to have to get medical care to help treat my dysphoria. I managed to get on the waiting list for
Oh my God.
and eventually started hormone treatment in May 2024.
Okay, so I want to know, when did this person go and have a diagnosis of gender dysphoria? Never. They just decided because they were singing these songs and wore makeup and dresses that all of a sudden they were trans. Do you see? And now this person actually is going and having all of this surgery done. They have bottom surgery and all this stuff because they had a revelation during COVID, and all of a sudden in their musical entertainment that they were trans. That's mental illness right there. And the fact that we're just letting people like this go and have these irreversible surgeries, shame on us, and shame on us for just letting, this is an adult. Clearly, they can do whatever they want. They can literally do whatever they want. But why are we letting people move forward on such things without going through any type of system? It's just shocking to me. But they figured out they were trans because of the music they were playing. Wow, just wow. So I just wanted to bring this last one because it's the wingnut again. Well, not that they're not all wingnuts, but the wingnut again. And this is just so insane.
So sometimes when people ask you to hang out, it's because they fucking need someone, and I have been alone for so goddamn long, everybody just fucking stares at me, and most people don't like me because I'm trans and punk, and nobody fucking wants to be around me. I need someone in my life who will just spend fucking 10 minutes to give me a hug. Ever! Goddamn! I am so, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Do what? Do you see the anger in that person? And people aren't not hanging out with you because you're trans. Nobody cares. They're probably not hanging out with you because I've watched a lot of your videos and you're like super angry and disconnected and just putting all your all weird stuff on everybody else. So who wants to hang out with somebody like you? And, I feel sad that you're like being so emotional. I think it's just wow. Come on, people. This is clearly a mental illness. And these people all attaching themselves to trans is just so wingnutty and crazy. And it's just getting to be so much. So thanks for watching and liking and subscribing and helping me get this channel going and exposing these people. Okay. Transsexualism is a mental disorder, period. Stop letting people tell you that it's not. It clearly is. But these people are above and beyond that. There's a lot of mental illness going on in this transgender space that we need to actually address. And shame on the trans community for not being real and stepping up and starting to take care of these people and understanding that just transitioning is not going to make you a better person. You have to go through a lot of mental health care before you should even be going down a medical space. So thanks for liking, subscribing, helping this channel grow. It means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.